They're not shy, they're not awkward, and they're definitely not weak. The quiet person in the room, they're watching. While everyone else fights for attention, they position themselves for leverage. Psychology shows something unsettling. Silence activates the nervous system. Uncertainty. And uncertainty creates tension. Tension creates curiosity. Curiosity becomes obsession. You think they're disengaged, but their nervous system is steady. And yours? It's reacting. Because when someone doesn't reveal their thoughts, your brain starts filling in the blanks. And the one who controls the blanks controls the narrative. Silence isn't absence, it's positioning. Most people talk to feel safe. They overshare, they over-explain, they laugh too loudly, they defend themselves before they're even attacked. Why? Because the human nervous system fears rejection. Talking is often an unconscious attempt to secure approval. If I explain myself clearly enough, they'll accept me. But the quiet person doesn't rush to manage your perception of them. They don't scramble to clarify. They don't rush to impress. And instantly, the power dynamic shifts. In social psychology, the person who reveals less becomes harder to predict, and the brain hates unpredictability. Your amygdala, your internal threat detector, lights up. Why aren't they reacting? What are they thinking? Do they like me? Are they judging me? Now your nervous system is activated. Theirs is not. That's the first shift in power. Not every quiet person was born that way. Some were built by experience. Children raised in unpredictable environments learn something quickly. Silence equals safety. Speak too much? It gets used against you. Show emotion? It becomes ammunition. So they adapt. They observe instead of react. They study tone, facial shifts, micro-expressions, energy changes in a room. They scan before they speak. From the outside, it looks like introversion, but often it's trauma intelligence. Their nervous system learned survival through stillness, and survival mechanisms refined over years start to look like strategy. Here's what most people don't realize. Silence increases perceived dominance. When someone talks constantly, you know exactly where they stand. When someone speaks sparingly, you lean in. You project depth onto them. You assume they know more than they're saying. Because humans instinctively respect what they can't easily access. Silence forces others to work. They fill the gaps. They over-explain. They expose their insecurities. The quiet one, they just listen. And the person who makes others reveal themselves holds the advantage. Every room has that one person who rarely speaks. But when they do, everyone stops. That's not coincidence. That's gravity built through restraint. Now, let's go darker. Silence can be a weapon. Some individuals deliberately withhold reaction. They don't argue, they don't defend, they don't escalate. They remain neutral. And emotional neutrality destabilizes emotional people. When someone attacks you and you don't react, their nervous system gets confused. Conflict requires participation. Without reaction, there's no fuel. This is why silence is powerful in negotiation, in interrogation, in dominance dynamics. The calm one sets the emotional climate. The reactive one loses leverage, and most people cannot tolerate what they cannot read, because what they can't read, they can't control. Notice something. The loudest person in the room often feels uneasy around the quiet one. Why? Because loud personalities depend on feedback. They need laughter, agreement, energy exchange. But the silent person gives very little, and that absence of feedback creates anxiety. It forces self-awareness, and self-awareness can feel threatening. Silence communicates something powerful. I I don't need validation. And indifference is psychologically destabilizing because humans fear being irrelevant more than being disliked. But here's the truth most people won't say. Silence can be strength, or it can be armor. If it comes from confidence, it feels grounded. If it comes from fear, it feels tense. From the outside, they look identical. Internally, they are worlds apart. Calm silence is chosen. Trauma silence is survival. One is power, the other is protection. And sometimes, it's both. Quiet people often feel deeply but express sparingly. Inside, their mind isn't empty. It's loud. Memories, patterns, what-ifs, analysis. They pause before speaking because they're filtering chaos into clarity. The world rewards volume, but volume isn't depth. Quiet individuals often experience emotions intensely. They don't speak unless it matters, because to them, words are expensive, and once spoken, they can't be retrieved. They listen not to reply, but to understand. They notice the trembling hand, the forced smile, the pause before someone lies. They read what isn't said, and that kind of perception changes you. When you see too much, you can't return to simplicity. Silence becomes your processing space, your detox, your sanctuary. So the next time you see someone quiet, don't assume weakness. Ask yourself, are they overwhelmed, or are they observing? Are they insecure or calculating? Because in most hierarchies, the one who speaks last shapes the conclusion. The one who reacts least controls the temperature. Silence is not emptiness. It's containment. It's discipline. It's awareness. In a world addicted to noise, the person who can remain still has already separated themselves. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to explain your silence, because sometimes the deepest minds move the quietest, and the ones who say the least often understand the most.